Hello everyone, this is Shelby with Shelby Creations. And we left off last time we made the cover. And now we're going to put the spine in here, but without going through the back cover, so it's basically a hidden spine. And this is the way I do it. There are others that do it different ways, but this is just my version of it. So what I did was I did get my papers ready. I picked out just a few. I've got 2 signatures here to go in here. And the way I do my signature pages, the way I store them, because someone asked me this. Let's see, move this out of the way. I'm done with that. Is I have, oh, I don't want to lose that. I have these plastic envelopes that I got at the Dollar Tree. Excuse me. I think they come like 3 for, well, it's not the Dollar Tree anymore. It's like $1.25 store. And they've got 3 of these little snap type envelopes. The cover comes around. But when I have pages that I want to use in a signature, I put them in here. Some are already folded, some are, I've got a piece of paper bag, I've got copy dyed papers, I've got all kinds of papers. And they go in here, and this sits on my shelf. And on the end, so that I don't have to pull every envelope out, I simply put the signature pages, or signature paper. And this just slides right in my shelf. And I've got several different things. And I just look at the edge. It's like when I do my tags, I don't want to have to pull out every ephemera holder I have to find the right one. So just a little storage tip there. Now, back to our spine. So I'm going to bring you up to date, because if not, if I go through this step by step, we're going to be here all day. I took a heavy piece of cardstock. I think this part of a packaging for something. And I measured, I saved me some room on this side of the fold and on that side. And I measured it where I wanted it to go, and I marked it here and here because I want it to sit inside here. I don't want it to overhang. And then I simply trimmed it down. Then I took it to my scoreboard, and I scored it. Now, it's going to take 2 or 3 times to get through this thick cardboard. Folded it up, and then what I did was I cheated. I marked where I wanted my holes to go, and then I took my crocodile, not the big hole, but you want a little teeny hole, and I simply came up and I punched my holes that way and down here. On the side here, I folded it up so that I could come in here, because I knew I was covering it, so it didn't matter if I had holes there. Then I just put a simple cover, piece of paper over it, because I don't want to see this behind my signatures. I want something that, looks a little better. So that's what I did. And so now what I want to do is I'm going to attach my signatures to this, and then I'll put this in, because then I won't see this on the back at all. So that is a good thing. What I'm wondering is somewhere, and I'm not quite sure where right now. Let me check right quick. Maybe. No, they're not in there. I had, oh, there's nothing in there. Let me try one more place. It could be. Got to get down here into my stash. Maybe they're in here. This is my little container of Tim Holtz stuff. Those of you that know me know I love Tim Holtz. What I was looking for, aha. Well, I dropped it. Where'd it go? There it is. It's one of these little things. Because I think I want to put a spine dangle on this. And if I do, it's got to go on before I put this on, because it will hide it in here. So, put those in there just like that. Ooh, and then the whole thing comes out. Well, now we know. That's why they come like they do. There. Leave that the way that was. Okay, so it doesn't fall apart. Now, where do I want this to go? And I'm going to use a little small hole here. And maybe just there. Now, I know I'll probably end up covering this. So, I don't know if I can get it in. I'm still going to put this on ahead of time, but I'm not going to put it flush, because that way I can get something, if I want, underneath it. And down just like that. Turn it so that it's the right way. Now see, this is what I'm seeing the problem is going to be. If I turn it, that's going to be up top. But if I put it at a slight angle, that is a dilemma. Because I want it to lie flat. So, let's do both of them down on one side. We'll see how this works. It may not work at all, but I'm hoping once that gets glued down, it's not going to, well, it did come out. Okay, this may not be the brightest idea. As much as I want, it may not be doable. So, we'll set that aside. But I'm not worried about the hole. I can cover it up. So I do have these done. Now, what I want, excuse me, I seem to have a frog in my throat this morning. Oh well, wouldn't have known if we hadn't tried it. So I'm going to put my signature on here. Set that up. I have my needle. Now in here, I have a very fine wire. I'm not sure you can even see that. But this is what I thread my needles with, because I can feel how to put the wire in and not actually see that much of it. Because those of you that know me know that I have trouble with my eyesight. Well, oh, come on. There we go. So I put that in. I open up that one. And this is the wire that comes in, like the ribbon with the wire on the edging. This is where I got this. I'm going to take my thread, put it in that crease of the wire, and simply feed that back through. Well, did that not go? Yep, it's all through. Just have to work it. There we go. And there I have, well, open it up. Come on, come out of there. There we go. And then I put that back in with the thread that I use. And here is, all right, we need to find our center, which is right here. Now, what I'm going to do, because I did not put any holes in here yet. And I'm going to show you the easy way to do it. I do have a piece of hard styrofoam, or and I glued several layers together so I can use it as a poking base. All right, so I know I want to go into my center. So I will put that all the way through and then pull my styrofoam off. Then I can come in here and put that needle through that center piece, just like that. Well, it helps if you can pull it through. And there goes one. So we have that part. Now, this is where it does get a little tricky. I'm going to line this up here, right where I've got my crease in my paper coming through. And I'm going to poke it down. Well, keep it level, keep it. This works usually with me all the time. It's just, I'm trying to do this on camera and it's not going to cooperate. If you cannot get your needle through, drag out your pokey tool and go ahead and poke your hole. And then while you're still holding it, put your needle in and it goes all the way through. And see, we came in right along that crease. Now, I'm going to pull this up some. Hold this down here, and I'm going to go in the other side and do the same thing. But from the back, I'm going to come in here, hold my papers like they need to go. Just like that. Hold that string nice and tight. And then come up here. Where's my hole? I cannot see my... Oh, this is the one that's behind the paper. That could be why. Make sure I'm lined up. Poke that down. And then flip the whole thing over. And put my needle in. Pull it out. And then back in through the middle. But when I do this, all right, now I've got that tail on that side. I've got this over here. I want to pull these tight and come back up through. Okay, come on now. It's hard to do it and hold it where where y'all can see it. It's really not that difficult to do, honestly. All right, now you see my needles coming up. This is where I'm going to make sure that everything is where it needs to be. This is going that way. This is on that side of the needle. I'll pull this up and then go ahead and trim that off. And here is our first signature. Pull it snug, but not overly tight, because you do not want to rip those papers. There. First one in. Now, all we do is we repeat with the next one. And hopefully this one will be a lot quicker. Push those down. Put this clip on there because it seems to hold it a bit better. Now, let me find my needle. We're definitely going to need more thread than that. So I used up almost all the blue on that one. Set that there. We'll go with pink on this one. 1, 2, and trim it off. Now, with our little wire gizmo, see, if I show y'all all the, I don't want to discourage you from doing these. So don't think that my problems with this is going to be your problems. Believe me, this is just me. But hopefully by learning from what I'm doing, now see, sometimes you don't need to pull it all the way through. Make the hole bigger. Stick your thread through the hole and then pull it through. That came out a lot easier. A lot easier. But hopefully from seeing what I'm doing, you'll be able to sit there and it's like, oh, well, maybe if she'd have done this, this, or this, and try it. I mean, I'm just sharing how I do things, and which I learned from someone else myself. And sometimes it's not, taking the person's word as that's the only way it can be done, but using that as an example on where to start, how to get this going. Okay, now, get that lined up. Come in here. Turn the whole thing over. And I'm going to poke there. And then line that up here. And go ahead and poke my hole here. Go ahead and do that all at one time. Now, pick up my needle. And yes, you can see my papers have shifted, but that's okay. You can come in this way, find where your hole is in your papers. I did not. I know it went through. Did it not? Did it not? Yes, it did. Okay. There we go. One of my papers shifted. See, not the end of the world. We got this. We can do this. It's just different ways of doing it. And this is only when you're doing the hidden spine that you go through all this trouble. Because you don't want to see where everything is at. Now, I'm going to go back in my center, making sure I have it where my papers are. Hold everything on this side. And come on now. I know you're there. All right, why are you not going through? Let's do it this way. Sometimes you just got to ease things up a bit so that you can see what you're doing. And that's okay too. There we go. Now, this happens. And it's happened to quite a few people. Me especially. you are pulling in your threads and it gets caught on the other thread there so that you're loose. So what you want to do, and like I said, this took me a while to figure out how to fix this without taking it all apart. I'm simply going to go down here, separate my threads, and that pulls that one out from underneath the other, or out of the other. Put them back in there, snug them up, do what I call a baker's knot. It's around, you do it around 3 and then you just do it, or do it around twice, then do it around once. And there. Both of my signatures are in, as you can see. And it's not going to be big once you start out. But when we go to start filling this thing, it's going to get huge. Now, to put this in our book, this can be a little tricky. So, let me see if I can find my, I think I put my other tape up here. Somewhere. Oh, I'll use the thicker one. Alright, I'm going to use this bad boy. If I can find the end. Yes, it's a new roll. There it is. I don't use 1/2 inch tape that much. But when I do, when you need it, it's good to have. So, I'm going to put this down here, all the way to the end of my inside spine. Put it down there on both sides. And I'm going to put one in the middle, because I do not want this slipping around until the glue actually gets a hold. And burnish that down. Alright, I found the lid to it. Where's my... I think I could lose my head if it was not attached to my shoulders. I lose so much stuff on my desk because it gets buried. That's why I try to clean up, after each little session. Because if not, I wouldn't have any tools to work with. And I wouldn't have any space to work. Because if I start a project, before I'm finished with it, I'm left with this much space to work with. Not good. Now, I'm going to come in here with my glue. And I'm going to come all the way to the edge. And then down. Yes, I'm going over the ends of that tape, but it is okay. And I'm going right over my strings, everything. I'm not going in the center where the tape is, but I'm getting everywhere else. And I want to make sure I have plenty of glue on here. It may seem like a lot, but it's not really from when you start looking at it. Now, put the lid on that, put that well out of the way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this like this, placing the cover just on the outside and wrapping it around. Now, once I do that, all I'm going to do is come in here and push it down. Push down those sides because that tape will hold it there. Come in here in the middle and press it down there. And that is our hidden spine. We see nothing on the outside. We've got it pretty well set in here. Let me make sure. I'm going to take my bone folder and make sure I have it down in that crease. Do the same on this side. Burnish this side down good. And there we go. That did not fit in that corner too good. Okay, let's do this again. And there we go. There we go. There is our hidden spine. We're not seeing anything on the outside. We have enough signatures in here with 2, I think. And once we start putting pockets and everything else in there, you know this is going to get larger. Yes, I left my pages untrimmed because I don't know if I want to make that a tuck or if I want to pull this up, make it a pocket. It gives me room on my pages to add without adding too much else. So now that you've seen how easy it is, I hope you will try yourself to make a hidden spine. Yes, I still have my hole there, but that's okay. I can cover that up with something. That's not a big deal. So now all I gotta do is figure out what I'm going to do in this one. You know, I can make blank journals all day long, but sometimes it gets difficult on what you want to put in it. I know one lady I saw on YouTube, she was doing what's called a desk journal. And any little scraps that she had left on her desk at the end of whatever she was doing, the end of her day, each day, she would put them in her journal and use just what she was working with, what scraps she had left to fill her journal. That may be an idea. We'll see where that goes. I do have a few things in progress. In fact, they're drying right now. But I like to show you what, the end product can be on some things. So as soon as they get dry, that will probably be tomorrow's video. May have a little surprise with you with napkins and glue. No telling what's going to happen. So until then, if you liked what I shared with you today, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and join me tomorrow for more crafty goodness. Bye, guys.